Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Talking About Thinking. Today I'm going to be talking about The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I am given to understand that this author has written many books and multiple series, but I did not want to jump into a pre-existing series. So I'm excited to have the opportunity to jump into this first book with everyone else. So I'm going to read to you what it says on the dust jacket, and I'm going to show you these beautiful paintings. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? There's also artwork in the back here. Okay. Now, let's see what it says on the jacket. Holy work sometimes requires unholy deeds. Don't we know it? Brother Diaz has been summoned to the sacred city, where he is certain a commendation and a grand holy assignment awaits him. But his new flock is made up of unrepentant murderers and practitioners of ghastly magic and outright monsters. The mission he is tasked with will require bloody measures from them all in order to achieve its righteous ends. Elves lurk at our borders and hunger for our flesh, while greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions and comfort. With an epic, hellish journey before him, it's a good thing Brother Diaz has the devils on his side. So that synopsis kind of reads like Brother Diaz is the main character, but the book itself is written more as an ensemble cast, and you get multiple POVs from multiple characters. I wrote down here in my book journal a list of the characters that I liked the most and I both thought were the most important. So you have Brother Diaz, who is nominally in charge of basically this adventure that our character set on. Brother Diaz is a lustful, reluctant monk. He basically was given to the church after he made some mistakes that embarrassed his family. Then we have Alex, who's a street urchin and a thief. We have Duke Michael, who is royalty. We have Baptiste, sort of a jack of all trades. We have Jacob of Thorn, an undying knight. We have Balthazar, who's the world's third best necromancer. We have Sonny, who is a reviled elf. We have Baron Ricard, an elderly vampire. And we have Vega, a proper Norse werewolf. And Benedicta the First, who is a child pope. And this really compromises the chapel of the Holy Expediency. And so basically there's an empty throne. The church is in schism, and they have tasked Brother Diaz with seeing a long lost princess put back on her throne, the serpent throne, and they set off from the holy city on an adventure to Troy to put this princess back on her throne. And so you see the first chapter here is the worst princess ever. So this book was extremely funny. It was full of action. It was, I guess you would call it gritty because, like I said, it was a little bit gory. It was action filled, but the characters really were delightful. I really enjoyed the characters. You have this misfit band of humans, monsters, elves, mythical creatures basically, who are all bound to one mission, and it is to recover the throne for this missing princess, Anastasia Style. And I don't know really how much I can say, but I guess this is pretty full of spoilers. Look at the bookmarks that I got in here. Look at that. Really enjoyed it. There are people I love, there are people I hated, but I didn't come away with a firm foundation that I was in the right, or that the characters I loved was in the right. And maybe that is something that happens a lot in Joe's books. I can't say because it's the first book I read of his, but what I can tell you is I really enjoyed sort of the fresh take on a lot of tropes. This is one of my favorite vampire representations of all time. I also love that the werewolf was a woman. Oftentimes a werewolf is a man, and they did not skimp on the horror of being a werewolf transformations, werewolf appetites, and I really enjoyed seeing that, especially since the werewolf was a woman. And our princess, she is not instantly good at everything. She has to go through a lot and grow into basically royalty she was meant to be. Or was she? Who can really say? You'll have to read the book. But if I had to give a recommendation, I would say yes. I loved it. You should read it. Pick it up. If you already like Joe, good for you. If you don't and you're like me and you've heard that Joe Abercrombie is a good read, I will say this book was a great read. So if you're up for it, it's a little thick. It's not outrageous. And you want a rollicking good time set in a sort of alternative universe, ancient history, where Hector humbled Achilles, then this book might be for you. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Thank you so much for coming back to Talking About Thinking.